Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air, bracing for storms right now in the Northeast, potentially dangerous winds and flooding. New York City, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. Dangerous thunderstorms and flash flood alerts as we come on tonight. It comes after deadly storms already. A mother, father, and child killed when a tree falls on their SUV. Interstates flooded, vehicles carried away into floodwaters, drivers rescued. And now these new storms set to hit this evening. We'll time it out. Also tonight, all eyes on Tropical Storm Erin, now on track to become the first major hurricane of the season in the Atlantic. Tonight, the new forecast and track right here. When does it become a major hurricane? And how close to the models now having it coming to the East Coast? Also just in, a passenger on a flight across the country to Los Angeles arrested. Police escorting him off the plane. The airline says for allegedly assaulting flight attendants and other passengers. The passenger was restrained twice, breaking free both times. The airline says then becoming violent again. Tonight, 2 days now until this high-stakes summit, President Trump, Vladimir Putin. Tonight, the president is asked, will Putin face consequences if Russia does not agree to stop this war after the summit? Tonight, President Trump now vowing severe consequences, and President Zelensky saying Putin is bluffing. Tonight, the federal takeover of policing in Washington, D.C., the National Guard taking up positions near the National Mall. President Trump now saying he wants this takeover to be long-term. Tonight, the harrowing images right here. For the first time, we're seeing what police encountered after a gunman opens fire outside a casino, killing 3. A short time later, opening fire on police. The gunman hiding behind the tire of a truck. Tonight, the deadly shooting near a school bus stop. A woman shot and killed while walking a young girl to the bus. There is news tonight. A 20-year-old American pilot has been stuck for more than a month in Antarctica. Why, he says he can't leave. The alarming images just off the East Coast tonight, the paddleboarder and multiple sharks swimming right there in the water. Tonight, Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones and what he's now revealing about his very personal battle. America Strong tonight, the young woman finding the diamond in the rough. She discovered a 2.3 carat diamond in one of the few places the public is allowed to search for diamonds themselves. And tonight, right here, her plans for that diamond now. And tonight we have news of a wide-ranging coffee recall involving 48 states, the concern over glass.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and we begin tonight here with the dangerous storms moving into the east right now. Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, all bracing for potentially dangerous winds, thunderstorms, and flash flooding. And it comes amid deadly storms already. At least 4 people killed, including a mother, father, and their 3-year-old child who were killed when a tree fell on their SUV. Tonight, a state of emergency in Chattanooga. Drivers taken by surprise on Highway 24 after more than 6 inches of rain in a short period of time. The second wettest day in that city's history. The city's mayor tonight saying at least 35 people were rescued by swift water teams who worked straight through the night. And as we watch these new storms now headed for the Northeast, we're also watching tonight Tropical Storm Erin, now set to become the first major hurricane of the season in the Atlantic. Tonight, the satellite images here. Erin now about 2,400 miles from the East Coast. We have the new timing for you. And tonight, the spaghetti models showing the potential path. Some of those models have it closer to the East Coast now, but it is still very early. Many of the models have the hurricane still being held out to sea. Either way, rip currents will likely be a real issue all along the East Coast. We have the forecast, the storms hitting the Northeast tonight, and the track of this potential hurricane in the coming days. And ABC's Stephanie Ramos leading us off with the deadly storms already tonight.
Tonight, flood watches for millions in the Northeast after a deadly 24 hours in the South.
Have you seen anything like this?
More than half a foot of rain in the Chattanooga area, flooding Interstate 24.
The highway's filling up. Go, people!
This vehicle floating in high water. A Department of Transportation camera capturing a first responder carrying a person on their back who was trapped in their car to dry land. Chattanooga police say not far from this scene, a man was swept away by floodwaters, later found dead. Just outside Chattanooga in Eastridge, Tennessee, swift water rescue teams working around the clock, rescuing multiple families and their pets from homes. Sadly, in Eastridge, authorities say a mother, father, and child were killed when a large tree fell on their SUV. The ground saturated throughout the region. Another massive tree crashing down just across the state line in Rossville, Georgia. Meanwhile, the East dealing with record-breaking heat in the last 24 hours outside Boston.
It's a very hot night in the city, and our gear is great, but it traps our heat.
Multiple firefighters had to be treated for heat exhaustion after fighting this massive 5-alarm fire in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Temperatures over 90 degrees.
They work very hard, and some of that comes with a little bit of heat exhaustion. So we're going to check up on them, make sure everybody's okay.
And David, back here in the Northeast, flight delays and cancellations are mounting due to thunderstorms in the area that are likely to cause flash flooding too. David.
Stephanie Ramos at Newark Airport for us. Steph, thank you. Let's get right to meteorologist Dani Beckstorm of our New York station, WABC, tracking it all. And Dani, we can see those darkening skies right there behind you.
Yeah, David, forecast verified as the rain's coming down tonight in New York City. Flood watches in parts of the south and northeast. In general, Tennessee, parts of Georgia tonight, including portions of Alabama, going to expire that flood watch as we head into this evening. But here in the northeast, it'll take until late tonight. Up the I-95 corridor from Washington, D.C., Philly, into parts of New Jersey under that flood watch. We could also see a few isolated severe storms. We've seen that tonight in New Jersey. That's possible into southern New England. And of course, all eyes are on the Atlantic now. Tropical Storm Erin slowly strengthening. Right now, max wind of 50 miles per hour, but it is set to become the first hurricane of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season either tomorrow or Friday, eventually forecast to strengthen into a major hurricane by Sunday as it moves north of the Caribbean islands. That curve north, that's what everyone wants to know, when and where, right? There's an area of high pressure, there's a cold front off the east coast. It will wedge between those two things, but exactly where that turn happens is what we need to see. We expect that to happen on Monday. What we do feel confident in, high rip risk as well as rough surf in the U.S. East Coast by about Wednesday. We'll keep watching it. David?
We will be watching this for many days to come. Dani Beckstorm and the team get back inside now. We appreciate it. Now to the harrowing moments on board a flight from Norfolk, Virginia to Los Angeles. That flight diverted. The airline saying a passenger fighting with the crew and fellow passengers restrained twice and breaking free from those restraints. The airline saying he got into an altercation with flight attendants, then passengers, and began fighting after breaking free. He was arrested when they landed in Grand Junction, Colorado, instead of Los Angeles. Here's ABC's Trevor Ault tonight.
Tonight, a passenger in custody escorted off his flight after the airline says he started a physical altercation with their flight attendants and other passengers.
They're calling it a level 4 disturbance now. They said they had him restrained, he broke out, and there's passengers holding him down now.
The Breeze Airways flight was traveling from Norfolk, Virginia to Los Angeles this morning. Police say they were told the passenger was intoxicated, yelling racial slurs at the flight attendants and waving around a skateboard.
There's information that he struck a flight attendant, so there is injuries.
According to air traffic control audio, the passenger was restrained 2 separate times, but broke free both times.
The unruly passenger is now free, trying to hit people as well.
The plane then declaring an emergency and diverting to Grand Junction, Colorado, where the airline says it was met promptly by local law enforcement officers who restrained and removed the passenger from the aircraft. Other passengers cheering and booing him. It's the latest of more than 1,000 unruly incidents reported on planes nationwide this year. Last month, a New Jersey man was arrested for allegedly attacking another passenger just after they landed in Miami.
And David, in this Breeze Airways incident, the airline says a flight attendant and a passenger were evaluated for minor injuries. The FAA is now investigating. David?
Trevor Ault at LAX tonight. Trevor, thank you. Tonight, 2 days now until the high-stakes summit between President Trump and Vladimir Putin. Tonight, President Trump has been asked, will Putin face consequences if Russia does not agree to stop this war after the summit? The president now warning Putin will face, in his words, severe consequences if there is no end to this war. And tonight, on the eve of this summit now, President Zelensky saying Putin is bluffing. Here's Rachel Scott.
Tonight, 2 days before his high-stakes summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin, President Trump speaking with European allies and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to hammer out a strategy.
President Zelensky was on the call. I would rate it a 10, very, very friendly.
Zelensky saying Trump agreed Putin must sign on to a ceasefire. We hope that the central topic of the meeting will be a ceasefire, Zelensky said, an immediate ceasefire. Today, reporters asking the president,
will Russia face any consequences if Vladimir Putin does not agree to stop the war after your meeting on Friday?
Yes, they will.
What will the consequences
there will be
be?
consequences.
Sanctions, tariffs?
There will be, I don't have to say, there will be very severe consequences.
But 5 minutes later, Trump acknowledging he probably won't be able to stop Putin from killing Ukrainian civilians.
Do you believe you can convince him to stop targeting civilians in Ukraine?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've had that conversation with him. I've had a lot of good conversations with him. Then I go home and I see that a rocket hit a nursing home or a rocket hit an apartment building and people are laying dead in the streets. So I guess the answer to that is no.
The White House calls Friday's meeting a listening exercise. The president saying it's really about, quote, setting the table for a face-to-face meeting between Putin and Zelensky.
There's a very good chance that we're going to have a second meeting, which will be more productive than the first, because the first is I'm going to find out where we are and what we're doing.
And the president made it clear today there may not be a second meeting unless he hears what he needs to hear from President Putin. As for Zelensky, he says Putin is bluffing and that is not serious about ending this war, David.
Rachel Scott, who will be on the air with me this Friday in our coverage of the summit. Rachel, we'll see you then. We turn now to the federal takeover of the police in Washington, D.C. And tonight, President Trump now says he will ask Congress to extend his takeover beyond the 30 days current law allows. 800 National Guard soldiers have been called up. Sources say they expect a significantly higher presence on the ground there tonight. We turn now to the harrowing images. For the first time here, we're seeing what police encountered after a gunman opened fire outside a casino in Reno, killing 3 people. A short time later, then opening fire on police. ABC's Matt Guppin tonight with the images, and we warn you, they are disturbing.
For the first time tonight, we're seeing this terrifying shootout between Reno police officers facing off with a gunman on the run after a deadly rampage outside a casino. New body camera video showing officers racing to the scene, immediately taking fire from the suspect. Their vehicle riddled with bullets. Police say the suspect is 26-year-old Dakota Hoover.
Where's the gun? Where's the gun?
He fired around 80 rounds with his handgun. Moments earlier, Hoover had walked up to the valet area of a popular resort and casino just outside downtown Reno and opened fire on a crowd there before taking off. 3 people were killed. Several others were wounded.
We're going to leave 3 victims in the valet.
I need an ambulance up here with 1 gunshot wound to the arm and the leg.
Within 2.5 minutes, officers arrived, and in a dramatic gun battle, they wounded Hoover.
And David, that suspect died in a hospital a few days later. Police say they're still investigating a possible link between the suspect, the casino, and the victims. They're still searching for a motive, David.
All right, Matt Guppin with us tonight. Matt, thank you. We're also following a deadly shooting near a school bus stop in Louisville, Kentucky. There is a search underway right now. Authorities say a woman was shot and killed while walking a child to the bus stop. Here's ABC's Ike Ejiochi.
Tonight, police in Louisville, Kentucky are urgently searching for this alleged gunman who they say opened fire near children on their way to school, killing a woman as she walked a little girl to the bus stop.
3 shots fired at the bus stop, 1 person on the ground.
Female shot in the chest, back, in front of the library.
The woman rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. The young girl was not hurt.
I'm thinking about the child's hand she was holding. The healing is going to be for a very long time.
Kids should be able to go to school, go to the bus stop in the morning without any fear of gun violence, of having to run for their life in the morning.
It comes just days after surveillance video allegedly shows a 15-year-old opening fire near the same bus stop while children were waiting for the school bus. No one was injured, but that teenager was arrested.
This is the 2nd time in a week that we're talking about this, and it is absolutely pathetic.
David, police have not said if the suspect knew the victim or how she was related to the little girl she was taken to the bus stop. Now, police have been patrolling that bus stop since last week's shooting. Today was the first day they were not there. David?
Ike Ejiochi tonight. Ike, thank you. We turn now to the economy tonight. A very good day on Wall Street. The Dow gaining 463 points, the S&P 500 and Nasdaq both hitting back-to-back record highs on investors' growing expectations that the Federal Reserve could cut interest rates next month amid new inflation numbers holding steady. When we come back here tonight, there's news coming in now. There's been a school bus accident. We're learning of multiple people injured with serious injuries. Also ahead, Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones revealing his personal battle. Also, the alarming images just off the East Coast, the paddleboarder and multiple sharks swimming right there in the water. And then the young woman from New York City who just found a 2.3 carat diamond in a place where you could look for diamonds too. Her remarkable find and where. in a moment here. Tonight, the image is just coming in. There's been a school bus crash on the first day of school in Leander, Texas, outside Austin. Reports of at least a dozen people injured, many of them children. The bus rolling onto its side, more than 40 children from Baghdad Elementary School on board at the time. At least 3 victims are in serious condition at this hour. The school district tonight saying its buses are equipped with seatbelts. Tonight, an American pilot who is just 20 years old remains stuck in Antarctica. Chilean authorities accusing Ethan Guo of filing a false flight plan, lying about his destination as he kept flying his Cessna toward Antarctica. He tells ABC News he had an engine failure and had to land at a base on a remote island in June. He says charges against him have been dropped, but says the base is preventing him from leaving. He says he's trying to fly around the world to raise money for cancer awareness. By the way, his interview on Good Morning America tomorrow morning. In New York, startling images in the water just off the Hamptons. Video showing a paddleboarder near a huge school of fish just off Bridgehampton. Multiple sharks feeding in the water right there. The paddleboarder about 125 feet from shore. The sharks believed to be spinner sharks, which are not considered dangerous to humans. When we come back here tonight, Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones revealing a personal battle. And this coffee recall tonight, it involves 48 states and also where that diamond has been found and where you can look too. To the index of other news, President Trump, after his takeover of the Kennedy Center, revealing the new list of Kennedy Center honorees. The president, now the Kennedy Center chairman, says he will personally host the event in December. Among the honorees, actor Sylvester Stallone, the president calling him a friend and real talent. Also being honored, country music singer George Strait, Tony Award-winning actor Michael Crawford, singer Gloria Gaynor, and the band Kiss. President Trump says he was 98% involved in picking the honorees. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones revealing he had a 10-year battle with cancer. Jones says he was diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma in 2010, undergoing multiple surgeries, including 2 on his lungs. He says now at 82, he has no more tumors. That is good news. We wish him continued health. Tonight, the coffee recall here. Dollar General issuing the recall in 48 states because of possible glass contamination. The company responding to reports of glass fragments found in 8-ounce containers of Clover Valley Instant Coffee. They have a best by date of December 13th or 14th, 2026. No injuries have been reported. When we come back here tonight, the young woman from New York City finding a 2.3 carat diamond in a place where you can look for diamonds too. Where she found it and her plan for that diamond already. Finally tonight here, the diamond in the rough. Really, a 2.3 carat diamond sitting at her feet. Tonight at the Crater of Diamonds State Park in southwest Arkansas, an unbelievable discovery. A 2.3 carat white diamond. You may not know this is one of the few places where the public is actually allowed to search for diamonds themselves. Since 1972, visitors at the Crater of Diamonds State Park have been sifting through about 37 acres, all hoping for some good luck. The park telling us about 140,000 people come every year. And get this, 1 to 2 diamonds are found every day, but rarely this size. More than 35,000 diamonds found since they started this. Michelle Fox from New York City had been searching for weeks for a diamond for her engagement ring. She was determined. And on her last day of searching, she looked down and saw the diamond glistening at her feet. And right here tonight,
hey, David.
Michelle telling us she's still in disbelief over her incredible find.
Hold on to being optimistic and bold, even though it's naive. I got really lucky and I worked hard.
And joining us too,
hey, David.
Sarah Reap from the Arkansas State Park, standing right where that diamond was found.
She came out here, put in a lot of hard work for several weeks, searched for her own diamond, and she was able to take it home to New York with her.
And tonight, the park now inviting everyone watching to come visit. And they're wishing you good luck too.
This is a really amazing, incredible place where the public can come and search for diamonds in its original volcanic source, and you guys get to keep what you find.
Yeah, well, we wish Michelle well with the diamond. The engagement already saved some money on the ring, off to a good start. I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Good night.
David Muir, the most watched newscast in America. And now, ABC's World News Tonight has won the Emmy for Best Live News Program for the 3rd year in a row.